So we are in front of the Transportation Committee, and we're going to hear the motion that I introduced about a week and a half ago to bring the feasibility of a cycle bike loop to the Wilmington community. So let's see what happens here, and I'm really excited to have the chairman, Mr. Bonin, hear this item and bring it to his committee so quickly.
Sharing busy traffic lanes with cars is absolutely unacceptable, and separation by a line of paint is often not enough. Protected bike lanes, also called cycle tracks, use curbs, planters, or parking to buffer bicyclists from moving cars.
We'll take item 9 out of order because we have a special guest here. And we are blessed today to have the representative of CD15, Mr. Joe Buscaino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Martinez. Mr. Bonin, thank you so much for taking this item so swiftly and quickly into your committee. This is, in CD15, we try to think of innovative ways to look at our multimodal transportation options. And in Wilmington, we're one of the first neighborhoods in the city that welcomed both a docked bike share program with Metro, and also we are in the middle of a pilot program with the dockless bike share program through Line Bike. And this is a community, as we all know, colleagues, the impacted, disadvantaged community, surrounded by heavy industrial refineries to the north, Port of Los Angeles to the south. And it's a community that has demanded additional amenities. Really proud of the fact that we're leading an effort with the Wilmington Arts Alliance on really promoting economic development on Avalon. And we feel that this item before you, which will call for a cycle track loop, is a way to boost some economic development opportunities, help support the existing businesses, and also encourage other businesses to come to the Wilmington community. And we have seen in other parts of the country, in Washington, D.C., and also in Salt Lake City, how a cycle track loop has been a economic boost to those respective cities. But I feel that this item before you is more of a cycle track loop, and calling for the feasibility of a cycle track loop. I believe it really is going to help promote health, safety, economic development, in a time where we've seen $300 million parks get built. The Wilmington Buffer Park built by the Port of Los Angeles, Maloy Park that was recently built, and more importantly recently, the announcement of the investment being made at the Wilmington Waterfront Park. And while Wilmington has the highest concentration of bike lane in California, bike ridership is diminishing, mostly because, quite frankly, people are afraid, scared to death of jumping on a bike in the middle of horrendous traffic in our city. And I, for one, can testify to that. Every May, we have our Bike to Work a day in the city of Los Angeles. So I take the leap of faith to leave my downtown San Pedro City Hall and make my way up 24 miles north to City Hall here in Los Angeles. And I've had numerous close calls. I almost got killed a few times, but the fact that I took them for the team, Mr. Bonin, we have to do everything we can to promote ride your bike to work. And,
do you wear a helmet?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
CicLAvia is coming to us. Hey, door open! He almost killed me, but I still love you. So she's parked parallel to a marked bike lane. She whipped out her door.
Not even looking.
I almost slammed right into it. Yeah. I think I peed my pants on that one.
Many of us follow very closely the live coverage wall-to-wall on Facebook.
From beginning to end.
In fact, our communication director almost killed himself going through a couple rail lines, but nonetheless,
I remember that.
took a spill. But this is why it's important to look at really forward-thinking of looking at ways to promote and bring forth a cycle track loop. Now, this is just in concept, so I do want to encourage the community of Wilmington, who's been demanding these types of amenities, and there's the question of why not us. And if you look at the Strand and the beach cities, which I feel is their most valuable asset, is their cycle track. And we feel that we can bring this asset to Wilmington. So this is in concept, asking for the departments to come forward with the feasibility, but most importantly, we want this to be a community-driven process. There's some excitement, and I believe there's a lot of interest, but I'll end with this, Mr. Bonnet, if I can. We feel that this motion before you, the driving force behind this motion was CicLAvia. When Wilmington hosted CicLAvia a year and a half ago, and all folks from all parts of the county came to Wilmington. Businesses were excited, and at the conclusion of CicLAvia, residents and businesses said, when's the next CicLAvia? So we shouldn't have to wait for CicLAvia to promote a healthier and safer community by bringing this cycle track loop where we feel we're going to have safe biking in Wilmington, which is the largest network of bike lanes rather in the city of Los Angeles. So we ask for your support moving forward.
Thank you, Mr. Buscaino, for coming to testify. I think this is phenomenal. I want to applaud your initiative and your leadership on this. This is great because it does two things. I mean, cycle tracks are the gold standard of bicycle infrastructure, and it'll make it safe for everybody of all ages and abilities. And we need to be more about intersections and segments in a holistic network. So I love this. I was unaware that the greatest concentration was in Wilmington. That's great. So this is the perfect place to do it. So I would just say, ride up, Wilmington.
Thank you.
So I'm happy to hear that the committee just moved the item along. The cycle track loop, we feel, is going to be a buffer between the industrial uses and the residential uses in Wilmington. And we're looking forward to partnering with the community through the neighborhood councils and other stakeholders to get this thing moving.